What's up, y'all? We back for another episode of Ready to Love, Season 8, Episode 10. Meet the family. So the men have a little meetup with Tommy, and he lets them know that their task this week is to go ahead and introduce their connections to whoever in their family knows them best. Where are we gonna start? We're gonna start with Quentin and his cousin Darius. Quentin, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna just do the dates. I'm not gonna go in order. Quentin goes and takes first Miss Lee to introduce him to his cousin Darius. Darius asked her, what attracted them. She was like, he had on a teal suit. He said she had on a red dress. So, they thought each other was cute. Then they found out like how much they have in common, being that they're both trainers and athletic. And Quentin kept referring to her as sweet. And Lee does definitely give off very sweet energy. I don't think it's fake. I think she is probably very sweet. But I also think like she's no punk either. Cousin Darius asked Lee, what does she do for fun? She says Lee is an active person. She likes zip lining. She likes ATV rides. She likes to travel. I heard her mention like going to concerts and things of that nature. Like, I think that's dope. I think people don't do enough of that. Um, he seems like that type too. But I feel like when you're an athletic person like that, like you're not about to find um people who are just going to go zip lining. I personally feel like it's something I want to do, and that's not really in my nature necessarily, but the only zip lining I see around here is over at Gatorland. And when I do it, I definitely don't want to do it over a swamp full of gators. I feel like I see enough gators in my life to know that, zip lining over them. Yeah, that ain't something I want to do. But I do want to zip line. Anyway, Lee likes to have fun. I feel like Quentin would enjoy that type of thing too. Does that have anything to do with the day-to-day life? Are most people just out zip lining all the time? Not really. And he did say something like that, like he wants to see like what dating looks like outside of this process. Apparently, though, in this process, Quentin ain't been given enough energy to Lee. We've been seeing that. We've been seeing like how he has um put all his energy into Janelle, like they act like they're in a whole relationship. And he did say out of his own mouth that he had ghosted Lee. So I don't know I don't know what he saw in terms of his connection with Lee. I don't know what that was because he seems to always bring it on back around to Janelle. Now, like I said, he thinks she's sweet. She's obviously beautiful. I think Janelle's just easier. And I'm gonna tell you why. Lee said over at the house, he didn't really show her the attention that she felt like she deserved. And I get it. He said he didn't know how to navigate that. I think it's because he's afraid of how Janelle will react or respond. She's already seen it. I think he's seen it in her, from the get, because that's the kind of energy she gives off. She gives off that energy like, like she will, I don't know, pull up or put hands on people. I'm just saying these are things that she says she does. So that's kind of probably the energy that she's giving off. So over at the house, it was very much like they were a couple already. She said something about she gave him the cheat code to come up to, she told that to Tommy, she gave him the cheat code to come check her out. And he did not act on it, probably because he was fearful of what would happen if he did. So that being said, like if you were into Lee, then you would have gave, this was a prime opportunity for you to show her that you were interested and you did not. What Quentin said was he appreciates that, even though he didn't know how to navigate the situation. She said you didn't try. I'm gonna say you were afraid. And you appreciate that she handled it with class. And I said, that's funny because, if it were the other way around, Janelle would have snapped her shit and then everybody would have had hell to pay. And so, So then what is the attraction? It's weird. But at the end of the day, the cousin was like, y'all both have a chill vibe. I could see how y'all could I could see y'all as a thing. And in his confessional, he went straight back to, yeah, that, Lee's sweet and I really appreciate her. But I also have a connection to Janelle and I can't wait for my cousin to meet her. So even in that moment, you were still, go Janelle. And go Janelle. Shit, if that's what you want, that's what you want. She gets her opportunity to meet the cousin. Now we have a date with Janelle, and he asked her like what attracted her to, Quentin, and Janelle said he was authentic. And I guess, girl, she said he was giving her lovey-dovey eyes today. And child, they're just such a couple already. It was just a whole lot of touching and smiling, and he was giggling. And these were definitely was not the energy he was giving off with Lee. It was different energy with Lee. It's weird, yeah. Like he definitely doesn't like. He was like I said, damn near giggly sitting here with Chanel, and she like rubbing his chin and here you go, baby. Let me wipe that off your face and yeah, lovey-dovey eyes and stuff. They talked about kids, and this is where things kind of get fuzzy because obviously Janelle is 41 and this boy is I think 34. He's younger and he doesn't have to really rush to have kids. Like he wants them, but he doesn't have to rush. But if he wants to have a child with Janelle, time is a ticking. I don't know why Janelle don't go over here and get her embryos or what have you, or get her eggs like retrieval like Jessica, because I mean, if you're gonna date somebody that young, like then this needs to be one of your non-negotiables. I thought we discussed that in the beginning. This is one of those things that you can't move forward from. So then why put in the energy? He's a young man. He's got plenty of time to be, deciding whether he wants to be a father. He can literally find someone and be in a relationship where he can do all of these things like, zip lining and ATVing and traveling and not having to worry about the responsibility of children. And Janelle is, to me, 41 is not old, but, she's in a different place. And unfortunately for women, when you get to that point, I had my last child at 38. And they told me I was old the whole damn time, which, I mean, at 41, you damn close to the line where, you got to make decisions. So Janelle has to make decisions. That's realistic. So as much googly eyes that they got going on over there, it's just, it's not realistic based on the desire for parenthood. That will be their obstacle because it doesn't seem to be any other obstacles in the way. That being said, the cousin picks Janelle strictly based on the fact that, his cousin Quentin over here couldn't stop smiling in her presence. So as much as he likes Lee, clearly he likes, he's more interested in pursuing something with Janelle, even if she is crazy. What did he say? She's a lot for him, for some, but for him, she's not a lot. So he's sticking to that. Okay, so Aries and Phil. And I want to say I felt like I saw this coming. So Phil introduces Aries to his aunt and his cousin. They sit down after the pleasantries. Now, Aries says she's in software sales. This is her career path. She's in software sales and she's the mother of two boys, 12 and 14. And I understand the mindset of a parent of a single mom with children that age. Her children are about to get ready to go to college. I feel like Aries does well for herself. Her friends said that before. When they met, way back when they met the friends and they decided, they were trying to decide between Chris and Phil, the friends said Chris because he's in a better financial situation than Mr. Change his mind or things go for, one way to another for him within 4 months' time. When he said 4 months ago he was not who he is now, that right there is a red flag, I think, enough for anybody to be on pause, because 4 months is not a long time to have such a major shift. And he shifts a lot, and that's okay. If he had to shift in order to provide better life, then that's fine. But you shouldn't be like feeling no type of way because that gives pause to somebody who has managed, as a single parent raising her children. It's an important question based on two grown-ass people who are thinking about moving forward in a relationship. It's not the same thing as Quentin and Lee over here who want to go ATVing and zip line, and that ain't what we're talking about. When you have children that are approaching college age, Phil, I think, said his son is 11 years old. Like, we want to talk about what does that look like beyond 4 months? Beyond 4 months from now, Phil, what does that look like? Will you have changed your mind again and switched your career? And how does that affect your home life? These are important things to think about, not non-negotiables, just like, so how do we navigate that? I got questions. That's what she said. I have questions and concerns. If you have answers for her questions, then it shouldn't be a problem. If you do not have answers for her questions, then you should probably slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit and see, 4 months from now, where you at, because that might be your window, 4 months. And Miss Aries will know how much she wants to invest in this situation based on how we move in within the next 4 months. She ain't looking to have no more children. And I mean, that's an okay thing. Y'all got 3 boys that are all in the same age range. That's like a nice little situation, to introduce into a brotherhood, so that part is positive. I don't understand Phil's reaction. It's irritating me. Yeah, his response is irritating me. The aunt or cousin asked him, what do you see in Aries? He said her inner beauty, her peacefulness. She's one of the greatest women he's ever met in his life. That's big talk, Phil. That's big talk. One of the greatest women you ever met in your life. So if that's the case, then you shouldn't have any problems like really getting to those answers, figuring out the answers to those questions she's got. Because like, who in their right mind would come across the greatest woman they've ever met in their entire life only to be irritated by her having a few questions, very much necessary questions, Phil. Yeah. So at the end of it all, they said, they, meaning his aunt and his cousin, they like her a lot. They wanted to know like how he was feeling about her having reservations. And I mean, at least she brought them up. And he said, what did he say? Something crazy. Oh, he said he feels like if that's something like that keeps coming up, it must be something that she dealt with in her past. And now, it makes him wonder, like, what is she in it for? Not for the money. Clearly not. She has her own money. That's irritating. What are you saying? What is she in it for? She's in it for a partnership, more than likely. Did you ask her that? When she asked you about the stability, like, you act like you haven't been changing your mind all over the place. So it's not a crazy question. Get out of your feelings, Phil, talking about if that's the case, then it's her loss. I mean, I suppose, but you did say you ran across the most greatest woman in the world. So it seems like you will both lose if that's how you're looking at it. Who's next? Marie. This little click right here got me on my nerves. Marie, Jessica, and now Kat has entered herself into it. For what? Exactly. Mario takes his cousin to meet Jessica. Is it just me, or do Mario's cousin remind you of Martell's mother? When I looked at her, I was like, she looked like Miss Maureen a little bit. Where they at? Dallas? Mario says Grace, and his cousin says that's rare. for a man to say grace. I guess, girl, I don't think so. I don't know where she grew up. I grew up with, uncles that, went to church, and based on how the family dynamic was set up, somebody was going to be saying grace before everybody decided to put their hands in the food. Is that something I practice right now? No, I probably should, but I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for it when it go through the cash register, and get bagged up and put in my car. That's what the part where I'll be like, thank you, Jesus, we got these groceries. It depends. I'm grateful, Anyway, they're talking back and forth, and the cousin is very complimentary. She said that, Jessica's beautiful, and that they both are, what did she say? They're a good looking couple, and they look good together. And Maria says we're both Tauruses, and that got under Jessica's skin a little bit. She said she doesn't believe, this is the thing that's so weird to me. She says she doesn't believe, in the whole astrology thing. She's, 100% on the side of Jesus, and she's a Christian, and get that juju away from her. She's a preacher's daughter, so that doesn't surprise me that she's very much rooted in her religion. But I don't know anybody that thinks of astrology as religion. I don't know why that always comes up whenever somebody says something about what sign you are. I just don't feel like does anybody look at astrology like a religion? I kind of feel like it's more like a study of personality traits based on when you were born and things of that nature. It don't have nothing to do with my God. I'm a whole Capricorn through and through. I love reading about Capricorns and other signs, and I'm infatuated with the similarities associated with the zodiac sign. I'm in no way worshiping and finding that to be any type of religion that I equate myself to. Same thing I said about the crystals. Like, I don't feel like that has anything to do with religion. So I don't know why, Jessica and a lot of people have to, bring it to that and refer to it as juju. Like, ain't nobody trying to put a hex on you, girl. He was just saying y'all are both Tauruses, which means like we probably like think a lot alike, but anyway, this is another one of those things why, Jessica, you seem to like mess yourself up with two men that don't really align with your beliefs, which is a big thing. And although Maria may be very fun to talk to and smart and all those things that you said about him, he's not a match for you. And you knew that back when the girlfriend came with the tarot cards. And I wasn't even mad at you for that, because like I said, I'm not, I'm not somebody that would be like, oh no, you can't read my tarot cards. I'm actually somebody that will be like, I'm not gonna let your ex-girlfriend read my tarot cards. Maybe, maybe not that today. But anyway, Jessica wants children. We know that she's going through this process with, egg retrieval. And I don't know. I just feel like that's a very smart thing for her to do. It would be nice, I think, if she had someone, to go through that journey with. But since she doesn't, it's definitely very smart for her to go through that journey, period. Because you don't want to get over here like Giselle, what's her name? Janelle's age, and be putting people on an engagement timeline and telling them that, you're not going to have any babies, but you're going to adopt. So none of you want to like birth children. So, and Jessica's not, she's still young enough to do that. It just is a smart thing to do. I just don't know that Maria is the one that you should be even having that conversation with, because Maria goes with whatever. He's got a son. Have y'all talked about, family and stuff? Have y'all had that conversation? It seems like y'all be like, we talk every day and we get on this whole like so connected with each other based on all these conversations that we're having. But what are y'all talking about then? Because this whole thing, especially when you get, from 36 on to 40, when as women in this age bracket, like if you're planning on being a mother, then decisions need to be made within that window. And if you're going to be doing it with somebody, that already has a child, which, most more than likely they are, you need to know that am I, building a relationship with somebody who doesn't even plan on going on this journey with me? Okay, Jessica, you have egg retrieval going on, and you're like calling yourself connected to somebody who doesn't even necessarily want to have more children. So maybe y'all should have that conversation since you got this dude on your damn near 10 on your list of things to do. Cat. What did this cousin think about Cat? Well, Cat's connection with Marie is fairly new. And production asked her like if she was concerned about about his connection with Jessica, and this was kind of irritating Cat. She sat up there and acted like she couldn't remember the girl's name and was like, "Nah, she ain't concerned at all." You know her name, girl. Stop playing. Kat and Marie, they connect on their whole spirituality. I think it's because they ain't got none. I think neither one of them spend a whole lot of time with crystals or tarot cards or any of that stuff. They don't go to church and they're not Christians. So just say that. Like, stop acting like, you live by some, you know, force of alternative thinking, because it's not. You ain't got no religion, and that's okay too, because I ain't got none, and I don't feel no kind of ways about it. But I don't lean on crystals necessarily, nor do I lean on tarot cards. I just, I lean on me. That's what I do. Anyway, Pat doesn't care about having children. She said it's cool if I do, it's cool if I don't. And she said that before. That's not the first time she said that. However, when she was over here doing her interview and praying her Portia prayer, she has also decided that she's changed her mind and she does want to have children. So, maybe, maybe not. We don't know. Kat hasn't decided yet. She goes to the school of Phil. Check with her in 4 months and see if she still feels the same way. So Aries and Phil go on a date. We winding it down, y'all. I cannot wait to get to the finish line. I can't wait. When we're done with this, I did see an ad for Ready to Love New Orleans. They called it something else. I can't remember what they put on the end of it. Ready to Love New Orleans. And I didn't see Tommy. And I believe the host is the girl that was on the New Orleans season of Southern Charm. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that was her. So it'll be interesting to see a different take on it. I can't judge it until I see it, but what I do know is this formula is tired as hell. So yeah, I'm ready to see them like try to switch it up. Get the hell out of Dallas, and New Orleans seems like, I mean, if nothing else, they've got food, honey. Anyway, Phil and Aries go on a date. Basically, Aries is pulling away because I think Aries doesn't want to get caught up in. She said he's sweet and he has a great personality, so I'm sure it's very fun. He's attractive, so I can see why she wants to be around him. Like I said, she's a woman handling her business, so it's not like she needs him for anything other than rubbing her feet, and she likes that. But she don't want to be too caught up in like the whole physical attraction that they have for one another, and then get past, that and find out that they're not really connecting on other levels, which are, important when you get past all the fuzzy shit that happens when you meet somebody you like. So she's pulling away, and he was like, still in his feelings. He's really tired of his whole financial conversation coming up when it comes to him, and she can pull away and just go away or walk away or whatever it is he said. And I was like, damn, not the most wonderfulest woman you've ever met on the planet in your whole entire life. You're just like, girl, if that's how it's gonna be, then walk on by. Aries, walk on by, because Phil is on straight bullshit. I feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, relationships take work on both sides. And this is like the first time, it's not the first time. It's the second time this whole easy thing came up. Yeah, that's not the first time I heard that whole term easy. When Marie's cousin was talking about like which girl she thought was better for him. I don't think I talked about that part. At the end of the day, she thought that Kat would be much better for him because she said, because they both don't care about having more kids and their whole spirituality lines up. She said Kat would be easier. And I was like, would she though? Like, I don't know. I feel like Kat has different requirements. That part is easier, but Kat is playing a game. And let's don't forget that, like in his wildest dreams, and I'm not even trying to be funny, in his wildest dreams, he would probably not ever bag a girl like Kat. And when I say bag, I don't mean have sex with. I mean, somebody like Kat would probably not be your girl, Marie, because Kat is more attractive. And maybe that's why you and Chris had this competition thing going on. I don't know what kind of money you make, Marie, but Chris is an African prince. So who's over here telling these girls that he's willing to pay all their bills. Because that's what he feels like, a woman, woman's place and all of that. You playing into something different with the independent women, but I just feel like, Kat is probably one of these women who is, more evenly yoked with someone like Chris. Lee, I would say not necessarily. I feel like Lee, at the end of the day, even though she's soft spoken, I feel like she's still way too independent for Chris. And rather than be combative with his ass, she probably just dismiss it because ain't nobody doing all that. Um, yeah, she's probably like, he's cool for being cool with, but he can't be my man. I mean, my man, my man. Um, anyway, what were we talking about? Yeah, I think Phil wants something that's going to be a little easier. It doesn't make sense because I don't see why, like, all of a sudden you're so willing to let go of the most wonderful woman in the world. And relationships are hard, and you are kind of flaky. Let's say what it is when it comes to your career path. And when you keep switching your career, especially at the big old age of 41, like if you haven't made any decisions about what it is you really want to do or what your plan is, even if you're like not in a place where you're like, I don't plan on doing this forever, but by this time, this is how I'm going to plan on, moving from this into this. Just what's your plan, man? I just don't understand like why you're so in your feelings. I bet you she got one. Anyway, Quentin and Lee have a date. They talk about, Lee is pretty much like, bro, we was at that house and you was like so hemmed up with this girl, Janelle. I don't know like why we're even still here. And it was very cute. They went on a little baseball batting cage type situation. And even though she's athletic, she doesn't know how to, do this. So they had a little moment where, it was cute. He was helping her, bat the ball until she figured it out. And they had a conversation about his connection with Janelle and how the expectation for her, for Lee, is that she wants someone who's going to at least pursue him, because what she was getting from him was like that he didn't care. And he's like, I'm sorry, that that's not how I wanted you to feel. He said he thinks, again, here goes this easier thing, easy. These easy like a Sunday morning situations is making these niggas look lame. So he said it was easier to navigate with Janelle because he had more of a physical connection with her. Now they were like laid up in hammock together. Was that them? No, she was laid up with her, but she did have other moments where she was very physically engaging. And I said that in the very beginning. So does that mean he's not attracted to her? That's definitely not it. I think he is attracted to her, but I think he felt like it was going to be more work to try to get to know Lee. And if you're not willing to put in work to get to know somebody, then, like she said, that's fine. Then go love on that lady, since that's the one you want to love on. At the end of the day, congratulations, you win Janelle. I don't know what else to tell you. Quinn said that they're similar. Stop saying that. They are not. Lee is like, what? Do you like sour or do you like sweet? Exactly. Like they are polar opposites. I don't know what he's talking about. He's full of shit when he says that. I think that Lee is soft spoken and easier to deal with, and less scary than Janelle. Janelle is much more pushier into the whole situation, and he did like say, fight for your man. So I think Quentin low key likes all of that extra shit that Janelle is putting on it. Um, you got to give me something to fight for, bruh. Otherwise, go. And that's where Lee is with it. He, at the end of it, is like, I like Janelle, but I'm just not ready to choose. And on that note, I think we get where Quentin, we get where Quentin is going. He's, playing games. He's playing games, easy like the Sunday morning. He playing the easy. Mario playing the easy. Mario. Who else want the easy? Mr. Phil. All y'all want easy. Why do we have all these women still left? And there's only 3 men. There's Phil, there's Mario, and there's Quentin. Why we still got all these women? Why all these men have extra choices? There's 3 men and how many women left? Jessica, Lee, Kat, Aries. It's too much double dipping going on over here. Maria and Jessica have a date, and Maria brings up Chris, and I don't know why. Why are we talking about that? Because she had an opportunity to say how Chris cussed her out. I'm tired of talking about Chris and how he cussed her out. That happened. Maria acts shocked by it, and y'all are sitting up here gossiping, and Jessica talking about he's 10 in your book. He almost a 10. Y'all quit playing. We're not buying it. Maria said he wants to move to Africa at some point. When did he say that? What is he? Lee goes to have a meeting with Tommy to let Tommy know that she is nobody's second choice. And I don't blame her. She's too smart, she's too beautiful, and she's, don't really have to do any of that, whatever Quentin is doing over there with Janelle. Chris is gone, so like she can't go on more dates with him on the show. And like I said, even if she went on dates with him after the show, based on the way he behaved, I think she will probably still maybe keep in touch with him, but ain't nobody trying to date him with that foolishness. Except maybe Kat, who's, looking for an African prince to come sweep her off of her feet. That's what she said, child. She didn't say African, but she did say Portia. So, you do the math. They're in the men's lounge, feeling Aries, Phil has to figure that out. I think that's a non-thing. Like, I don't know if he got no action, but I think Aries is at the point in her life where it's gonna take more than, some good demon dick to move her. And I don't think you even got that. Like, I don't even think you got to that place. Phil, I told you a long time ago, if you didn't play your cards right, that wasn't gonna happen. So moving forward. Um Marie and his nonsense. Should I choose Kat? Should I choose Jessica? He's so torn. He needs a little more time. We don't. We don't need any more time. I think we're done here. What are we doing next week? Now these niggas got to meet up with the ladies' friends, but Quentin won't have too much to do. He's over here, feeling like he can't decide whether he likes them both, and with Janelle, she's very chill, and she could sit back and play spades. Lee wants to be ziplining and all of that stuff. I don't know what either one of those things has to do with each other, but somehow Quentin is trying to factor that into whether or not who he likes the best. And Tommy was like, "Listen, don't even worry about it. have to spend no more time trying to figure out who you like best, because Lee had came in here and said she ain't playing second to nobody. So since she's no longer in the running, you are welcome to Janelle. And then this boy looked like his heart hit the floor. He said he really was looking forward to moving on through the process with Lee. Well, you know what? You won't get that opportunity. So now that you have eliminated, or not put enough work in, that the lady eliminated herself, you're welcome to Janelle. You want 3 children, allegedly. That's what you said on next week's episode. But, I don't think she got the time or the patience to push out 3. And, yeah, I guess we're going to see what's going to happen next week, because Tommy decided he wasn't going to, nobody's getting eliminated. I don't know why. This is who we should eliminate. Are we eliminating more men next week? How is that going to work? We're eliminating more men next week. That means, I guess Mahari ain't got to go, or no man gonna go. I don't know how y'all are doing this. Anyway, next week the men are gonna meet their people. Phil, maybe nope, that ain't gonna be it. We probably won't be eliminating no men next week. So the next person to go will either be Jessica or Kat, I guess. No, listen. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I guess next week we'll find out like what the hell is going on, because right now I'm confused and I don't know, and it's annoying as hell. But yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.